Ramses II, Ramses the Great, stands as one of history's most iconic rulers. His name conjures images of towering statues, grand temples, and a civilization at its peak. Revered as a living god, Ramses was more than just a king. He was the embodiment of Egypt's might and ambition. For 66 years, he was Egypt's living god, ruling during a golden age of power and prosperity. Under his reign, Egypt flourished like never before, its borders secure, its people thriving, and its influence stretching far beyond the Nile. The world looked to Egypt as a beacon of culture and strength. His legacy is carved in stone across the Nile Valley, from the awe-inspiring temples of Abu Simbel to his magnificent capital, Pi Ramesses. Every monument, every inscription was designed to proclaim his greatness for all eternity. Ramses was a warrior, a diplomat, a father to over 100 children, but above all, a builder. He led armies into battle, negotiated peace with powerful neighbors, and ensured his bloodline would endure for generations. No pharaoh left behind more temples, statues, or monuments. His architectural achievements transformed Egypt's landscape, leaving behind wonders that still inspire awe today. He wanted his name to echo through eternity, and he succeeded. The colossal images of Ramses, carved deep into the cliffs, ensured that his story would never be forgotten. Ramses's Egypt was a world of empires clashing, trade routes bustling with exotic goods, and constant threats from ambitious rivals. He navigated these challenges with a blend of force and diplomacy, always striving to keep Egypt at the center of the ancient world. He rose from a new, ambitious dynasty, determined to legitimize his family's rule and surpass all who came before. Every act, every monument, was a statement of power and legitimacy. Ramses didn't just want to rule, he wanted to redefine what it meant to be pharaoh. He set a new standard for kingship, blending tradition with innovation. He crafted an image of the perfect king and broadcast it on a scale never seen before. Through art, architecture, and legend, he shaped how future generations would remember him. This is the story of the pharaoh who would be God, a man whose ambition and vision changed the course of history, and whose legacy still towers over the sands of Egypt. To truly understand Ramses, we must first look at the Egypt he inherited, a nation still reeling from years of religious upheaval and political chaos. The land of the pharaohs was in a state of transition, its people yearning for stability and a return to greatness after a period of uncertainty. The old southern elite, once the backbone of Egypt's ruling class, had been weakened by internal strife and shifting loyalties. In their place, new military families from the north, like Ramses's own, began to rise to prominence, bringing fresh energy and ambition to the throne. Ramses's grandfather, Ramses I, was not born into royalty. He was a commoner who rose through the ranks as a skilled general, eventually chosen to found a new dynasty that would change Egypt's destiny. This family's claim to the throne was not based on ancient bloodlines or tradition, but on sheer military strength and the ability to command respect on the battlefield. Their legitimacy was forged in war and proven through victory. Seti I, Ramses's father, took this legacy further. Through relentless campaigns and monumental building projects, he restored Egypt's glory, re-establishing its power both at home and abroad. From a young age, Ramses was carefully groomed for kingship. He learned to lead armies, oversee massive construction projects, and master the art of statecraft firsthand, always under the watchful eyes of his elders. By the time Seti died, Ramses was already a seasoned leader, experienced in both war and administration, ready to take on the immense responsibilities of the throne. His accession was smooth, but his mission was clear: erase the chaos of the past, solidify his family's rule, and elevate his dynasty to a status that rivaled the gods themselves. Ramses was determined to prove his right to rule, not just to his people, but to history itself. He would leave no doubt about his place among Egypt's greatest kings. He set out to complete his father's work, ensuring that no one could question his family's claim to the throne, and that their legacy would endure for generations. The young king faced a nation eager for stability, prosperity, and a return to the greatness of old. The people looked to him with hope and expectation. Ramses was prepared to deliver both, and in doing so, he would shape the destiny of Egypt for centuries to come. Ramses II's reign was defined by two passions, building and battle. He was a ruler whose ambition knew no bounds, determined to leave a mark on history that would outlast the sands of time. He transformed Egypt's landscape with grand temples and towering monuments, stamping his name across the land more than any other pharaoh before him. His vision was not just to build, but to inspire awe and reverence in all who gazed upon his works. Abu Simbel, carved into solid rock on the banks of the Nile, stands as his greatest architectural triumph, a temple dedicated to the gods and to himself. Its colossal statues gaze out over the desert, a testament to Ramses's power and devotion. But Ramses was also a formidable warrior, leading his armies into battle against powerful foes. He faced the Hittite Empire at the legendary Battle of Kadesh, one of the largest chariot battles in history. Though the battle ended in a stalemate, Ramses's masterful use of propaganda turned it into a tale of heroic victory. He ensured that his people saw him as a fearless leader, triumphant against all odds. He immortalized his deeds in temple reliefs and inscriptions, shaping his image as an invincible king. Every wall and column told stories of his courage and strength, reinforcing his legend for generations. Years later, Ramses signed the world's first known peace treaty with the Hittites, ending years of conflict and securing decades of stability for Egypt. This act of diplomacy was as significant as any victory on the battlefield. Ramses was not just a conqueror, but a shrewd diplomat who understood the power of alliances and negotiation. His ability to balance war and peace made him a truly remarkable ruler. His legacy was built as much on myth and message as on military might. Through carefully crafted stories and grand monuments, he shaped how future generations would remember him. Through stone and story, Ramses made himself eternal, ensuring that his name would echo through history long after his reign had ended. Egypt's glory was his own, and in every monument, his spirit endures. Ramses's mummy reveals a man of great age and presence, tall, commanding, and marked by the burdens of rule. He was a master of self-promotion, using art and inscription to project divine authority. His building projects were not just for glory, they were statements of order and stability. Ramses was a traditionalist, restoring Egypt's old gods and erasing the memory of the Amarna heresy. He poured resources into temples and priesthoods, reinforcing the ancient order. His rule was about consolidation, not innovation, making the system work for him. He micromanaged the state, from monuments to grain rations. Ramses's greatness lay in his energy and scale, not in radical change. He was the ultimate pharaoh, embodying the traditions he so fiercely protected. Ramses's power extended into his vast family. His beloved queen Nefertari was immortalized in art and at Abu Simbel. After her, Isetnofret rose in prominence, mothering key heirs. Ramses married foreign princesses to secure alliances and even elevated his daughters to royal status. He fathered at least 100 children, parading them in temple processions. His sons held top military and religious posts, ensuring loyalty across Egypt. Khaemweset, his son, became the first Egyptologist, restoring ancient monuments. By placing family in power, Ramses created a network of royal authority, but his long life meant he outlived his first 12 sons. When he died, the throne passed to his 13th son, Merneptah, already an old man. The dynasty's strength became its weakness, as elderly heirs struggled to maintain his legacy. Ramses's legacy is debated, visionary or propagandist. Supporters see him as the ultimate pharaoh, presiding over a golden age of peace, prosperity, and monumental achievement. Critics argue he exaggerated his victories and usurped the works of others, obsessed with his own image. His reign was conservative, focused on restoring the past rather than innovating for the future. Some say his self-deification blurred the line between king and god, setting a dangerous precedent. Compared to other pharaohs, his true genius was in communication and longevity. Ramses outlasted, outbuilt, and outpublicized his rivals, ensuring his version of history endured. His greatness lies not in military genius, but in the myth he created. Ramses became the pharaoh by which all others were measured. Ramses's final years were marked by peace and prosperity, but also by the challenges of old age and succession. Frail and suffering, he delegated power to his sons and officials. One by one his heirs died before him, creating uncertainty at court. When Ramses died at around 90, Egypt mourned the end of an era. His 13th son, Merneptah, inherited a vast but fragile empire. New threats soon emerged: Libyan invasions and the mysterious sea peoples. Merneptah repelled these attacks. But the warning signs were clear. The long reign of Ramses had created a powerful yet rigid system. After his death, Egypt faced mounting crises: migration, climate change, and the collapse of neighboring powers. The successors, often elderly, struggled to adapt. Within a century, the new kingdom's dominance faded. Ramses's golden age gave way to decline. The sun had set on Egypt's greatest pharaoh. Does Ramses deserve the title, the Great? It depends on how we measure greatness. By reign length, stability, and monumental legacy, he is unmatched. He defined the image of ancient Egypt for all time. Yet he was not the most innovative general or thinker, and his long rule created succession problems. His true genius was in crafting his own legend, an idealized king, warrior, builder, and father. Ramses built his immortality in stone and myth. He dominated his age so completely that later pharaohs aspired to his name. He may have been a braggart, but he built wonders and secured peace. Ramses was complex, flawed, and supremely confident. When we picture a pharaoh, it is his face we see.